Hello and welcome to TTV News, some latest events in the province and around the country. Ladies and gentlemen, compared to previous months, the process of public investment projects in the province has been expedited in October 2024.
The total capital invested from the state budget managed by the local government in October 2024 is estimated to reach nearly 479 billion Vietnam dong, an increase of nearly 40% compared to the previous month. And this includes over 393 billion Vietnam dong from the provincial budgets, up more than 30%, and nearly 87 billion Vietnam dong from the district budgets, up to 15.3% of the previous month. And there was no implementation of the commune level budgets this month. Some key projects saw significant progress, such as the Trung Hoa Jala Road, the connecting road linking regions of N8 and 787B, TT789, and the upgrade and expansion of Road 794. By the end of October, the total public investment capital from the state budgets managed by the local government is estimated to exceed 3,100 billion Vietnam dong and reaching over 73% of the annual plan.
In recent years, TayNinhTV political school has closely followed the directions of the central government and the provincial party committee regarding personnel work. It has timelines identified the trainings and development needs of locality, agency, and units, and has implemented creative solutions to diversify the type of trainings and development programs to meet the staffing requirements at each stage.
Over the past 30 years, from 1994 to 2024, TayNinhTV Political School has organized over 500 classes, training nearly 50,000 students. In the last 5 years alone, the school has trained and coordinated with training institutions to open 106 classes, including 55 in intermediate and advanced political theory and 51 in various other training programs, with more than 7,600 participants. The school training and development work has effectively supported the strategic planning of personnel at each stage of the revolution, significantly contributing to the planning, upgrading, and standardization of the party and state career system. After being trained at the school, the careers actively and proactively apply the knowledge and skills they have acquired to practical work, making a significant contribution to the successful implementation of political tasks at the local and unit levels.
The audience, according to the decisions of TayNinhTV Provincial People's Committee regarding the condition and minimum area requirements for lands, subdivisions, and consolidations for different types of land in TayNinhTV province, the subdivisions of agricultural and non-agricultural land, that the plans for residential use must meet the following conditions.
Based on the upper plans, geoplanning, the land development plans, and building lands by competent authorities for urban areas, the subdivision must comply with the general construction plan and the pro-zoning plan for residential land. To convert agricultural or non-agricultural land to residential use, the subdivided land plot and the remaining plots must meet the area requirements for land subdivision or residential use in urban areas, urban wards, the towns, and rural areas, that's the communes, and for the land parcels that already include residential land and other land types, subdivision is not required when changing the land use of part of the plot, unless the land user specifically requires a subdivision.
Ladies and gentlemen, TayNinhTV currently is the rainy season, a favorable time for plantings and nurturing forest trees. Seeing this opportunity, the Forest Management Board across the province are urgently carrying out the 2024 forest planting task, with a determination to complete the plans before the pre-season begins. At your team Protected Forest Management Board, forest planting work is processing as scheduled.
As the rainy season continues, Youth Protected Forest Management Bureau is swiftly implementing the planting plan, taking full advantage of the favorable weather conditions. Under the Public Investment Plan for 2021-2025, Youth Management Bureau is tasked with executing the forest planting project in accordance with Decision Number 55, dated April 27, 2023, by the Department of Planning and Investment. This project aims to protect and develop Youth Protected Forest area, with plans to plant 1,000 hectares of forest and care for more than 2,000 hectares of existing forest during the 2023-2025 period. We have currently planted 87.1 hectares of forest, and we are nearing the target of 1,000 hectares. We will continue to review available land to incorporate into the protected forest until 2025. Additionally, the province is converting land use in some areas, and we are preparing land for replanting as required by the provincial directives for 2025. In addition to implement a sustainable forest management plan until 2030, Youth Forest Management Bureau aims to plant another 1,000 hectares of forest. Youth Forest Management Bureau aims to plant another 1,000 hectares of forest. The plan focuses on the 2026-2028 period for the 1,000 hectares reforestation project. Recently, the Provincial Bills Committee issued a new decision on support for reforestation with funding of 90 million Vietnam dong per hectare, covering 1 year of planting and 4 years of care. Beyond preparing plants and land for forest planting, a systematic and scientific management and care process, even after the rainy season ends, is crucial for the growth and development of the trees. We must select healthy quality seedlings. When planting, the soil must be loose and well prepared. After planting, ensure the seedlings are firmly settled so they don't lose water when the sun comes out, which helps them grow well. In parallel with accelerating the planting process, the Forest Management Bureau is also enhancing public awareness about government-supported reforestation policies. Special attention is being given to sustainable forest development policies, encouraging local people to participate in tree planting to protect the ecological environment and contribute to the socio-economic development of the area. As the end of 2024 of droughts and the rainy season in Tây Ninh gradually comes to a close, Youth Protected Forest Management Bureau is making every effort to complete the forest planting task before the dry season begins. The goal is to ensure that all allocated planting areas are completed on schedule, using the proper techniques and ensuring the healthy growth of the trees.
And now coming to domestic news, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính has recently signed an issue Directive Number 42, which aims to accelerate the eliminations of temporary and dilapidated houses nationwide. The goal is to complete 3 main tasks by 2025, including providing housing support for people with meritorious service, offering housing support to citizens under National Targets Program, and eliminating temporary and dilapidated houses for the general populations outside of the 2 above-mentioned support groups.
The directive emphasized that in recent years, the government and Prime Minister have issued many mechanisms and policies to support housing for various groups. However, as of now, approximately 315,000 households nationwide still face housing difficulties and need support to ensure the safety and sustainability. And this support is crucial for the people to settle down and thrive, allowing them to work with a peace of mind, produce and develop economically, while gradually escaping from poverty and contributing to the national goal of eradicating hunger, reducing poverty, and ensuring social welfare. And therefore, the Prime Minister has directed ministry agencies and localities to focus on several key tasks, such as proposing specific effective solutions and methods for eliminating temporary and dilapidated houses, researching and designing model houses, urgently balancing and allocating housing support funds, and increasing public awareness to build societal consensus so that the people and businesses can join forces to eliminate temporary and dilapidated housing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Territorial Department of Taxation has announced that tax management for both domestic e-commerce platform and cross-border e-commerce platform operating in Vietnam is being carried out strictly, ensuring that taxes are collected accurately, fully, fairly, and transparently in accordance with Vietnam tax law.
In addition, the General Department of Taxation has made efforts to facilitate businesses operating in Vietnam, allowing them to focus on their production and business activities while fulfilling their tax obligations to the state budget. According to the General Department of Taxation, by the end of October 2024, taxes paid by organizations and individuals engaged in e-commerce business activities amounted to approximately 94.6 trillion Vietnam dong, an increase of 17% compared to the same period last year. Currently, there are over 191,000 organizations and individuals conducting business on e-commerce platforms with a total transaction value nearing 72 trillion Vietnam dong.
The audience over the past 2 years, the shortage of medicines and medical supplies has become a heavy burden for many patients, especially for the poor who have to spend their own money to buy medications. In response to numerous complaints from voters sent to the authorities, the Ministry of Health recently issued Circular Number 22nd, 2024, and makes amendments to some provisions of the draft law on amendments and supplements to health insurance law, which were presented to the National Assembly as the 8th session. The new regulation concerns the direct payments of costs for medicines and medical equipment for patients with health insurance cards who seek medical treatment. It is seen as a lifeline for tens of millions of patients nationwide, but it is not yet a fundamental solution to resolve the ongoing issues. Voters are looking forward to effective measures that the Minister of Health will present during the upcoming question and answer section.
For over 10 days, this patient has been receiving treatment for viral pneumonia at the intensive care unit at Bạch Mai Hospital, and during this time, the patient's family had to spend tens of millions of Vietnam dong to purchase medications, and the concern is that many of the antibiotics needed are covered by health insurance, but the hospital has run out of stock. These expensive medications has to be brought outside in the hospital because they were no longer available. So our family had to search everywhere and eventually managed to buy a few bottles of antibiotics to treat the virus. Many family members of patients said that while it's still possible to manage buying some medicines outside for a few 100,000 Vietnam dong, there are prescriptions costing millions or even tens of millions of Vietnam dong for cancer treatment or chronic diseases, which are unaffordable for many patients. In response to this issue, Circular Number 22 from Ministry of Health allows healthcare facilities to transfer medicines from other sources when there is a shortage, a provision that is welcomed by both hospital and patients. Circular Number 22 is very practical and helps ensure the rights of health insurance participants. And there are two solutions. One is to transfer patients to another healthcare facilities that have available supplies. The second is that if we cannot transfer, the patient can buy medicines or consumables themselves, and then the health insurance agencies will reimburse them according to the legal regulation. However, Circular Number 22 does not yet completely resolve the issue, ensuring patient rights, adequate medicines, and medical supplies for healthcare requires more comprehensive solutions in the near future.
On the morning of November 10 in Hanoi, the Editorial Board of Communist Review, the State Capital Management Committee as State Enterprise, and the Central Enterprise Party Committee jointly organized a scientific seminar titled enhancing the roles of the state-owned economic sector in the socialist-oriented market economies in Vietnam, the realities of Vietnam's allies.
At the seminar, the scientists, experts, and attendees focus on clarifying the position and role of the state-owned economy and enterprises in the socialist-oriented market economy, and they also assess the current orientations of the state-owned enterprises in general and Vietnam allies in particular, while proposing solutions to innovate state-owned enterprises. Delegates suggested that the state should continue to strengthen the legal framework for the operation of Vietnam's aviation industry, providing continuous support for sustainable development through restructuring, improving payment capacities, and address debts. And there should also be policies that encourage and create favorable conditions for airlines to purchase more aircraft, develop their fleets, and expand flight routes to meet the demands of development in the new situation. And additionally, the solutions were proposed to resolve the bottleneck hindering Vietnam Airlines development, supporting the expansion of market, enhancing the competitiveness. A comprehensive evaluation of the mechanism within state-owned aviation enterprises was also recommended, as well as the impact of these enterprises on the development of the industry and the national economy. And thence, the key areas needing improvement in the next phase were identified.
According to data from the General Department of Customs, in the first 9 months of 2024, Vietnam exported over $103 million worth of footwear to Chile, ranking the 6th place among Vietnam's largest footwear export markets. Chile is a promising market for Vietnamese footwear. To boost export to Chile, the Ministry of Industry and Trade advised businesses to proactively research the market to understand consumer needs and trends, as well as stay updated on Chile's economic, trade, and investment policies. As a member of two free trade agreements, Vietnam and Chile have many opportunities to increase trade volumes, including the export of footwear.
According to preliminary statistics, Vietnam coffee export in the first 10 months reached nearly 1.2 million tons, generating for 4.6 billion Vietnam dong. 4.6 billion US dollar in revenue, and while the volume of coffee export decreased, the value surged by 40.1% compared to the same period last year. And since the beginning of the year, the export price of Vietnamese coffee has continuously risen, and the average price for the first 10 months is estimated at 3,991 US dollar per ton, up to 57% compared to the same period last year. And it is the highest price in the past 30 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, on November 9, during discussions on the draft law on teacher and the amended labor law, Delegate Hoàng Thị Thanh Thúy, Deputy Head of the National Assembly Delegation of Tây Ninh Province, said several key points.
She argued that with the comprehensive reform of education and the integration of subjects, it is now common for secondary school teachers who specialize in teaching biology to also be required to take physics and chemistry. Even though they have not been trained in these areas, some schools are sending teachers to training programs to handle these integrated teaching tasks. The current regulation that teachers should be allowed to take subjects related to the field of training is not being implemented effectively. If we keep such a regulation, we must have solutions to implement it well in the future, in a coordinated and consistent manner with the law's provisions. Regarding Article 16, Section 3, on prioritizing certain groups for teaching recruitment, Delegate Thanh Thúy agreed with the regulation, but suggesting adding a category for minority ethnic groups with very few members. In Section 5 of the same article, which outlines those not eligible for teaching positions, they also agree with the current regulations and recommended adding another group, individuals who have violated teaching ethics to the extent that they must face disciplinary action, such as a warning to ensure respect for the teaching profession from parents and society. In her comments on the amended labor law, Delegate Hoàng Thị Thanh Thúy also raised employment policies for the elderly. The regulations should be clearer and more specific. For example, in Japan, older people are not seen as a burden, but as a valuable resource. If we adopt such a perspective, Japan has very comprehensive policies for the elderly to prepare for an aging population. While there are already many regulations for older workers, I suggest that we also focus on policies that support employers in terms of wages. The delegate emphasized that if such policies are implemented effectively, coupled with the creation of a suitable working environment and job placements for older people, this could help make full use of this workforce, contributing to socio-economic development.
And today, TTV News wraps up now. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.